Okay, welcome back, YouTube, to another FPL Family video. And I'm here with Daan van Leeuwen, who is our Manager of the Month for May. Now, Daan, introduce yourself to the guys and also tell us about your FPL season, because it was kind of up and down. And then in May, where you won the competition, absolutely smashed it to finish in the top 50K, right?
Yeah, indeed. Hi, guys. My name is Daan van Leeuwen. Difficult to pronounce, I think, for English talking people.
It was for me. Did I get it right?
Yeah, almost. But
almost,
I think Dan or Daniel is just fine. Great honor to win the Manager of the Month, the last one of the season. It was a tough year for everyone, I think, FPL-wise and private-wise. But I finished just around the 50K spot, so I'm very happy to end where I'm right now.
Nice. All right. And tell us about your season then. So you ended up 50K, but was it always plain sailing from that perspective, or was it a bit? It sounds like it was a bit of a spurt to the line, a sprint finish in May. It was a bit
exactly.
Not quite so good in the previous months to that, right?
No, indeed. I started very well. I was in the top 80K after 10 game weeks, but I made some mistakes, some wrong decisions with players, and I ended up in the swamp between the 200 and 400,000K. So that's very difficult, and it remembered me of last year where I ended up in the 1 million overall ranking. It's such a hard game to play, and there are so many good managers in Fantasy Premier League, and it's hard to get back in the top 1% or top 100K. But my last month, saved my day. Had an awesome triple game week with the Manchester United guys, and ended up around the 50K. So that's perfect.
That's nice. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was. I mean, FPL is a difficult game. I mean, everybody watching this can attest to that. But equally, it's been a very difficult season, hasn't it? We've had stop-start, we've had double game week, treble game week. I must admit, I'm the sort of manager that prefers to have 10 games at a weekend, a straight 10 games, and then a whole week's worth of listening to podcasts and understanding all the data, ready to go for the next weekend. So how have you found this season then, with all of that stop-start and the doubles and trebles and everything else? It has been a tough season, hasn't it?
Yeah, it was really tough. And I think I still can learn a lot about the double game weeks and the blank game weeks. If I look on Twitter, I've forgotten his name. I think it's Ben Krellin.
Ben Krellin, yeah.
Mm-hmm. He has a lot of tips, and he looks forward to the blank and the double game weeks that are coming in the near future. But I don't look too much in the future yet with FPL, and there's still a point where I can learn a lot and maybe gain points, because I don't plan too much in the future. But it was tough. It was really tough. But yet, I tried to make as less transfers as possible, and I don't have to take in too many hits. So I think I managed it really well.
That's good. Yeah, I think that's a strategy that worked well for a lot of managers, actually, was not taking too many hits this year. It was so unpredictable that actually to take a hit, you're kind of looking for that hit to be repaid immediately if you can. And it's kind of hard to get that this season. So tell me, Don, do you follow a particular Premier League team? Do you watch much of the Premier League? Are there any sort of Premier League players from yesteryear that kind of your heroes from the Premier League of yore?
Yeah, I definitely have a hero from the past, Dennis Bergkamp at Arsenal was one of my favorite players, also being a Dutchie. And later on, from the final of 05 with Liverpool against Milan, I was very interested in Liverpool, and I watched more and more games. In the last 10 years, I actually watched quite a lot of Premier League games, and it doesn't matter for me if I'm watching top 6 clubs or not. I also like to watch Burnley against Brighton or that kind of games. I like the intensity of the game, and I think the average level of the Premier League is unbelievable.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and that's one of the things I love about FPL is that actually on any given game week, a Burnley versus Brighton might not be that interesting to, I guess, a lot of viewers. But actually, if you've got FPL assets, if you're interested in watching football, then it enhances your enjoyment of the game, in my opinion. Talk to me about your international team, then. Talk to me about the Netherlands international team. We've got the Euros coming up. Fancy your chances?
Yeah, I think we also fancy our chances very well, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough, and it's a shame that Virgil isn't there. He's really our man these days, and also our captain. He's very important for us. And we actually have a problem with our goalies. We haven't had a proper goalie for years, and that's going to be not a problem during these Euros. I think we're actually going to play maybe with Maarten Stekelenburg again. He's now back at Ajax, but also I think 38 years old or something. He played pretty well last half year, but I'm not so sure. I think we're going to play with 5 defenders. And 3 midfielders with Gini and Frenkie de Jong. And probably, I don't think Donny van de Beek is going to play because he didn't play at Man United, of course, this season. Not enough.
Yeah.
Probably Maarten de Roon from Atalanta Bergamo. And it's going to be very solid, but I don't think we're going to play spectacular football.
Van der Beek is an interesting one. You mentioned him there. I mean, what's gone wrong for him at Manchester United this year? I mean, he's obviously such a quality player, and he may or may not get some time for the Netherlands in the Euros. But do you think he can find a spot in that Manchester United side next year, or do you think it's time for him to move?
Yeah, I think it's already time to move for Donny. It's unfortunate. Bruno Fernandes is one of the greatest transfers they made in the last decades. And Donny is a number 10, but not the way Bruno is. Bruno is very creative, and Donny is more, kind of a box-to-box player, but he is more attacking than defending. So the spots where Fred and McTominay and Matic play, I think Donny can play there. But when he got a chance, he didn't do that well. So I think it's going to be very hard for him to get that spot in the first 11 at Man United after this season. I actually think I have also I think Ajax is one of my favorite teams here in the Netherlands. We've done very well the last years, and we had some great players. Also Hakim Ziyech, of course. And Hakim Ziyech it's a bit of the same story like Donny van de Beek at Chelsea. It's very hard for them to get in the first 11. And I think it actually could be better if they would swap teams at this moment. I was talking with friends, and the system Tuchel is playing with Chelsea, that isn't the way you can profit from Ziyech. And I think Donny van de Beek would fit better at Chelsea at this moment, and Ziyech would fit better at United at this moment.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I certainly Ziyech is one to look out for next season, in my opinion, as are a lot of the Chelsea players. We've seen in the Champions League final just what they can do, some of these young Chelsea players. And I've got my eye on Havertz and Ziyech for next season because, let's see what their prices are, but certainly they're going to be on my radar in game week 1, I'd suggest, depending on what Chelsea's fixtures look like at the beginning of the season. Give us your view on next season then in FPL. Is there any particular players from this season that you're thinking, actually, he's going to be a good asset for us next year? Is there anybody you've got your eye on?
Yeah, I think one of them, the first names on my team sheet is Jack Grealish again from Villa. We missed him, I think, the last month. I think he's brilliant, and I think it's very interesting to see if he stays at Villa or will he go to a bigger club. I haven't heard too many rumors the last week, so that's very interesting for me. And I think, the usual suspects like Bruno Fernandes and Salah will be up there again. But I really focused on Timo Werner at the beginning of this season.
Did we all? Yes, we all did, absolutely.
I watched a lot of Bundesliga football also. And Timo Werner, he is a brilliant striker. And what happened with him this season, it's unbelievable.
Can he turn it around then, Werner? Do you think he can turn it around, Werner? Can he improve next year?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of players have difficulties with starting in the Premier League. And look at players like Memphis Depay, who struggled at Manchester United and now is one of the big players at Lyon. And yeah, he's doing just fine, and he's going to be one of the stars of the Dutch national team this summer. So I think a first year in the Premier League can be hard for a lot of players, including Werner and Havertz. And I think we have good opportunities with them scoring high points next year with FPL.
Yeah, I think you're right. Certainly Chelsea I've got my eye on, and there's a couple of teams coming up as well that I've got my eye on as well. So Brentford, only just been promoted. They played their playoff final on the same day that Chelsea won the Champions League. So they beat Swansea in the final. So we now know the three teams that are coming up: Norwich, we know Brentford, and we know Watford as well, of course. So actually we've got two teams that are quite local to Sam and I, actually, Brentford and Watford, which is great. Any players from those promoted sides that you've maybe got your eye on as a bit of a bargain FPL asset for next year?
Well, last time I missed out on the bookie party, so I'm not sure I can afford it to not have bookie at the beginning of next season. That's going to be interesting. And of course, one of the FPL favorites, Sar, is probably a good asset for FPL at Watford. And from Brentford, I'm looking for Tony, but I think everybody is. He scored a lot of goals this year, and he looks to be a great asset for FPL as well.
Yeah, if you're looking for goals, it's certainly Pukki and Tony are the ones to have a look at. Although I did have a look at Buendia's stats from Norwich, actually. He's had 31 goal involvements this season. So about 15 goals, 16 assists, I think, which is pretty incredible. So I think he did okay, I think, when he was on our FPL radars a couple of seasons ago, but never really kind of broke into and became like an essential pick in FPL. So I wonder whether he might come to the party a bit more, having had that experience from a couple of seasons ago. But I think you're right. It's all eyes on the price of Ivan Toney, isn't it? I think coming up from Brentford, 33 goals, I think, this season, with a few assists as well, chucked in for good measure. So if you want goals, I think it's Pukki and I think it's Tony that you've got to have a look at. I think those are the two.
And maybe at Norwich, I think Max Aarons is still there, the right back, isn't he?
I think you're right. Yes, I think he's there. Yeah, I think he's there.
So, he was very interesting last time, but, well, they just got promoted. So I don't think we are looking too much to their defense and their goalkeepers. But, well, we'll see. I have to read into it a lot more.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll be spending a little bit of my summer reading up on those three, particularly Brentford, the 50th team to enter the Premier League, the 50th new team to enter the Premier League. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how they get on. Yeah, how they get on. So listen, Daan, thank you very much for joining us. Before you go, I have to ask you, who do you think is going to win the Euros? Put your neck on the line. Come on, who's the winner?
Yeah, there can only be one winner, and I think it's the Netherlands. Holland's going to take it this summer.
Good answer.
No worries. Sorry, guys. It's not coming home this year.
Well, listen, your group stage is Ukraine, I think, North Macedonia, maybe Austria. So that's a group that the Netherlands can absolutely get through. So who knows? Definitely. Could be your year. Could be your year.
We'll see. I don't think so, but I'm hoping so. And I think it's good to at least have the Euros this summer. I think we're all looking forward to it. And especially talking about FPL, it's going to be interesting. Of course, we have the Euros this summer. How that's going to affect the FPL, the start of the season with FPL.
It will be interesting to see some, there'll be players that come to the fore in the European Championships. There'll be, England in particular, we've got a lot of young players that were expecting, high expectations. If there's one thing we have in this country, it's high expectations of our young players. There's no doubt about it. We put probably too much pressure on them, but the likes of Foden and Grealish, and I know Mason Greenwood can't make it anymore, but I think Mount is going as well. So there's a lot of young players there that we have very high expectations of, and it'd be interesting to see if they perform, what the impact on their FPL prices for next year. It will be very interesting, no doubt about it. Daan, thank you very much for joining us, and congratulations again on winning the Manager of the Month competition for May. And guys, if you want to take part in our Manager of the Month competitions, they'll be running again from August throughout the rest of the rest of the season next year. So if you want to take part in that, www.patreon.com/FPL Family, All the links are in the description below. If you want to join us right now, you'll be charged on your first payment, but then June and July is free. So come and check us out. Come and try us out before the new season kicks in August. Daan, thank you very much for joining us. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. And also, if you're new to FPL Family and you're just discovering the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell for when we upload videos throughout the summer and when we are back doing our live streams on Sunday nights after the Premier League games in August. Daan, speak to you soon. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Have a nice summer.